Greetings! Fuck the salutations. How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to take a look at the Kemper Profiling Amp. I've seen a lot of people use these live, and I've had a lot of you guys request that I check it out, and I finally got hold of one. I got it right here. I'd like to thank my good friend Martin Bach over at SLR-Studios. He's the guy who invented the X-Clip. He was nice enough to lend me his Kemper for a few days and put it through its paces. Of course, with me, the big thing when it comes to amp sims is, well, how well do they stack up against the real thing? I mean, like, convenience is fine, but if they don't sound any good, then what's the fucking point? So I've created 3 custom Kemper profiles for this little shootout we've got. We're going to be putting the Kemper up against the 5150, my dual rectifier, and the Rev Generator 120. Now, the Kemper's kind of interesting because it seems to be using, I could be wrong here, but from what I guess, it seems to be using convolution as opposed to just EQ matching for tones. Like, say, if you're doing an Axe Effects, you've got to get the basic tone kind of in the general ballpark of the amp you want to duplicate, and then it'll do its tone matching, which is fine. The Kemper seems to be do things a little bit differently. It seems to run like a test tone through the amplifier and then does a little bit convolving. Then it's got this extra feature when you play the sample amp just a little bit more, and that seems to where it does a little bit more tone matching. Now, I could tell you guys what I think of the Kemper versus the real amps, but I think that should be a decision you guys make for yourselves. So I'm going to keep my opinion out of this, and I'm going to run the tests back to back, and I will post the results up at the end of the video, which sample was the real amp and which sample was the Kemper. Here we go. So there you go. Pretty impressive results. The one thing I like about the Kemper, as opposed to some of the other amp sims, is the fact that it does have a power section option, which is really cool. Because I've been to way too many shows where I've seen somebody bring in an Axe Effects and the house sound man's eyes just go blank because he has no idea how to hook the thing up to his PA system. Much less the band trying to trust the house sound man to get their foldback mix correct. You know, that might be great if you're playing your major rock festivals or whatnot, and you actually are paying the sound guy. But if you're like most bands and playing some of the smaller clubs and relying on the house sound man, don't hold your breath. So yeah, like I said, a powered Kemper would probably make a lot of sense in that regard. Honestly, I think the tones are to a point where live anyway, I don't know how many people are actually going to see the difference. In the studio, again, that's really up to you guys. I've got my own personal preferences. But, you know, like I said, ultimately it's up to you whether or not you think it's a good investment or not. I think if you're a beginner, it's probably a really good idea because then you don't have to spend years upon years learning how to do mic placement and all that kind of stuff. You can just kind of hook up, go and play your music, which is a really cool thing. For those of us who still want to learn some engineering and whatnot, you know, maybe go with the real amps and, you know, refine your craft. But then again, you know, ultimately it's up to what you guys decide. Hope you enjoyed the demo, guys. Take it easy.